Welcome to Lifted, a podcast to help you feel God's love. Each episode we'll talk to a musical artist about their life, faith, music of course, and whatever else pops up. Today I'm here with Sophie Patterson. Sophie, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how music found its way into your life?
My name is Sophie. I'm 22. I'm originally from a small town in Sydney. It's called Camden. It's a very country town. I'm sure not many people have heard of it. But then I found myself now living on the Gold Coast. And music has always been a part of who I am. I've always just sung for fun, and I'm one of 4, so I sing with my siblings. But I didn't start taking it seriously until high school, when I kind of recognised that I had a bit of a talent. So from there, I really, started to take it more seriously and pursue music. So
A lot of people grow up singing at church. Was that the case for you?
I wasn't born into the church. I became a member of the church when I was 19. My kind of baseline performances was like school assemblies and that type of thing, maybe like talent quests or local kind of shows, but no church singing. So that didn't start until later, but yeah.
Okay, well, we have to talk about that then. So tell me how you were introduced to faith or Jesus Christ.
I had always known of Jesus Christ because my school was Anglican, and I was familiar with the Bible, but I was never, I guess I wouldn't have, if people asked me, hey, are you a Christian? I would be like, oh, I don't know. I was introduced to our church through my high school ex-boyfriend. And yeah, we had dated for a while, and he kind of said to me, I knew he went to church, but I didn't know what church he went to. And he's like, I'm from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I was like, cool, like, what is that? And then he said to me, have you heard of Mormon? And I was like, I've heard of the musical. But from there, he kind of gave me a very humble invite and was like, well, if you'd like to come along with me, you can come. And I thought, oh, well, I'll just join them for a Sunday. But I was not raised in a Christian household necessarily, so it was different. But I was introduced to the church through that.
Was there one moment that you felt something? Or could you tell me about that?
So one of the principles we learn about when we're getting taught is the principle of an eternal family. And at that time, I was like angsty and, 18, 17, and my parents had split. And so I was in this phase of like, oh, like this, why can't I have this and that? And I would go to my boyfriend at the time's house, and his family was so happy. And like his parents were so in love, and his siblings were so happy, and I was envious of that, and I loved it. Fast forward a little bit, my partner at the time, he was actually preparing to go serve a mission. And me not having a deep understanding of a mission, it was a strange concept because I hadn't had that faith perspective of a mission. I kind of thought, this is wild, like why would you just go to Africa for 2 years and this is crazy. And I was probably pretty emotional at the time, and looking back I probably could have been a lot more understanding and seen it from a faith perspective, but I didn't. But anyways, it was great because him preparing was helping me understand different things, and he could teach me different things, and so I was able to learn a lot more about the church from that. And he left on his mission. We kind of, I guess, parted ways, but I stayed in contact with his family, and I was still going to church because I'd been looking into it for so long. I'd made some friends, and I was asked to sing a few times as well, even when I was non-member. And that was cool because it was a means of connection to the Spirit for me through music, through the songs that I sung. It was a way that I could feel the Spirit without kind of knowing what it was, but I always loved it, and any opportunity I was given, I took it. And then I had a friend who was baptised a few months prior to that. I said to her, I was like, I think I want to get baptised. And she's like, I encourage you to go home and tell your parents and pray about it and see how you feel. And so I went home, prayed for an opportunity to reach out to my mum and then to reach out to my dad at 2 separate occasions. And they said to me, well, if it's something that you want to do, like they knew I was going to church, but they saw how much it meant to me, and they said, okay, well, if it's not for anyone else, like as long as it's for yourself, like just take that step and we'll support you. And then I was still close with my ex-partner's family, and they took me in and his dad baptized me, and it was a beautiful baptism. It was very intimate. I didn't want it too big. I had my immediate family there, and it was actually one of the first few times that everyone was brought together again, and it was a little bit intimidating because it was a very foreign thing to them. And I remember looking at my siblings, being nervous and thinking, oh my gosh, are they going to think I'm weird? But yeah, so my baptism was pretty incredible. I didn't bear a testimony, I sung. And I looked out, I actually played the piano, and I was really nervous, so it actually wasn't too good, the performance. But I looked out into the seats, and my siblings were sitting there together and they were all crying. So at that point, I knew, I was like, oh, okay, this is them feeling the Spirit. This is kind of my why. Like, even if they don't understand, they feel it. And they did. And yeah, it was really, really beautiful. My mom sat next to me actually, and she was crying too. She was really emotional, and it was pretty incredible. And then I guess from there, yeah, I've never really looked back.
Oh, that's amazing. You touched on it. I don't know if you have a theory about this, but why does music bring the Spirit, do you think?
I think not a lot of people can recognise the Spirit, or they don't know what it is unless you're kind of taught about it. Because for me, even though at school I wasn't invested in any sort of gospel at the time, but they would sing some songs, and sometimes they'd have people come in and sing acoustically with the guitar. There's that classic song, the Oceans by Hillsong. That song that everyone, I feel like whether you're Christian or not, a lot of people know that song. And I remember being in like grade 9 or grade 10, something like that, and someone came in and sung that acoustically, and I felt that. And I remember vividly feeling the Spirit at that time. I think music is such an incredible way to have everyone access the Spirit. And I guess once we accept the gift of the Holy Ghost, like, we recognise the presence so vividly. But I think, yeah, it's a perfect way for people who may not have a relationship with Jesus Christ. I think it's such a great way for them to feel what is the Spirit.
If someone's watching this and they are curious to find out more about the church, but they probably have preconceived ideas and things as well. I mean, what would you say to someone who was like you were just a few years ago?
I would say have an open heart and an open mind. And there's a few scriptures about that. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but if anyone knows, give me a prompt. But I would say kind of don't take, I guess, faith as what people tell you it is. Take it as how you feel it. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is a church that has had a lot of scrutiny and false narratives out there, and it's very easy to get caught up in that. But I would say that is the adversary, and the adversary is something that goes against us when we're trying to find something good. So go to a sacrament service and just see how happy everyone is, and feel the love from people, and feel the environment. And even if you don't understand the words, don't worry, you'll learn. I'm still learning. Someone said to me once when I was looking into the church, worst case, if you live your life this way, it's a pretty good life to live, whether you fully believe it or not. Living faithfully and doing right by people and showing charity and having good morals. You can't have a bad life when you live like that, whether you're religious or not. So you won't regret it. And I'm still here, and I've got a family in here now. I'm starting my own family. So yeah, I can encourage you. It's pretty good. Just send me a message if you want.
It's worth it. You can't lose. I was going to say even the term sacrament.
Yeah.
But maybe other churches might say it's just a church service.
Yeah.
There's lots of words, isn't there, to find out about. But,
well, sacrament, I actually didn't start. So sacrament, for those listening, it's when we have some bread and we drink the water, and it kind of reminds us of the covenants, the promises we make with our Father in heaven on the day of our baptism. And that was something I didn't start doing until I was baptized. I probably took the bread a few times without understanding, but when I kind of consciously knew what that meant, It's pretty incredible because Heavenly Father gives us the opportunity each week to remember our why and to remember the promises that we make with Him.
Now, it's not just about hearing your amazing story
Yeah.
or about faith. You're going to sing a song today. Can you tell me about that? Tell me what it's called and how you found it.
So the song I'm going to be singing is He Still Chose Me. You know, despite how flawed you may feel that you are, like He's still there. All the time, you have a constant companion and God will never give up on you and He just wants to love you as much as He can. And it's like, I think everyone's seen that image, or if you haven't, there's an image that we use in our church quite a bit, and there's one hand like drowning in the water, or someone's drowning in the water and another hand is reaching down and it's the arm of Christ. And I visualize that every time when I kind of reflect on myself and decisions I've made, or, you know, despite whatever you've been through in your life or what you are going through, He's always there and He just wants you to take His hand. And this song is such a strong image of that. And so that's why I chose it, because I love it.
What do you hope people feel when they hear this song?
I hope they feel what I felt when I first started listening to gospel music and when I first started understanding people's stories. I hope they know that no matter where they are in their journey, whether they have heard of Jesus Christ or whether they've been in a church before and fallen out of it or lost faith, I hope that they feel the Spirit. Whether they can recognize it or not, I just hope that they get that little tingle up their arm, or they might feel a little tear in their eye, or they might have a thought pop into their head of, oh, maybe this could be good for me. I hope they feel that, because I know if they do and they follow that prompting, that they will be so blessed. So,
that's awesome. This podcast is called Lifted. Tell me, what lifts you?
Love. Just period. Like, love from my family, love from my friends. When you accept the joy that comes from loving Jesus Christ, you adapt His traits and His qualities. And when you just choose to love people and you choose to make that decision to be happy every day and to be kind and to serve others, the joy that you get from feeling their love and feeling their gratitude, it lifts you up. And it's never not going to. So, yeah, love, period.
Can you be my new best friend? No.
Yes.
Thank you so much for everything that you've shared with us today. It's been really personal. You've been able to articulate things I think a lot of people can't. And I think there's a lot of hope for people. I'm going to let you go and get ready for your performance, warm up the vocal cords.
Thank you.
And I'll see you shortly. Thanks.
Took my first breath, I could feel His light within, growing brighter as I know Him. When I reach out to Him, I can feel His love again. It reminds me of His promise that He'll be with me in every hour. He singles out my voice in the crowd. His strength can move the mountains, and His grace can part the seas. He's the King of all creation. He knows who I could be. In my heart I keep on saying I'm the last thing He would need. Despite my scars and all my flaws, He still chose me. And I can feel His grace when I live my life with faith. He helped me find my purpose, to give my broken heart, to love the way He loved, and follow in His footsteps. in every hour. He singles out my voice in the ground. His strength can move the mountains, and His grace can part the seas. He's the King of all creation, and He knows all I could be. In my heart I keep on saying I'm the last thing He would need. Despite my scars and all my flaws, He still, oh, He still chose me. His strength can move the mountains, His grace can part the seas. He's the King of all creation, and He knows who I could be. In my heart I keep on saying I'm the last thing that He needs. Despite my scars and all my flaws, He's still. Despite my scars and all my flaws, He's still. He still chose me.
I really hope that you've enjoyed this episode of Lifted. Please feel free to share this with your friends, your family, and also let us know who else you'd like to hear from and what else you'd like to see.